The living room, where the family meets to discuss issues, any issue which may be bothering one of the family members. That's what we do each and every Tuesday on WAC 90.1 FM with Ricardo Mitchell and DJ Aaron 868. We have casual conversations on serious topics, from sports to culture, mental health to economics, relationships to life lessons. Join us each and every Tuesday from 7 to 8 p.m. on WAC 90.1 FM. The Living Room, casual conversations on serious topics.
It is currently 6 p.m. here in Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know what time it is where you are, but I'm glad to know you're locked on to the true nation station WACK 90.1 FM, where we are
culture crazy.
First and foremost, let's kick this off as we always do, alright? Must give thanks and praises to the Almighty for granting us the gift of life and seeing another day. No matter what time of day it is, you must always
give thanks.
Secondly, we must say thank you to those that went before us. And we are not just talking about our ancestors, the original inhabitants of Trinidad and Tobago, the Tainos and the Kalinagos, because we all know, accept, reiterate, we say it with the chest and we just sing it loud that Columbus lied. But also to our brother in music, Tony Prescott, where the P this week stands for
Parata, boy. Parata. I don't know if you're aware of the Rotigate scandal that occurred over the weekend.
I saw some random and retweets about it.
Yeah. Apparently it actually highlights a very interesting issue that we have in Trinidad and Tobago, where people use other people's material without giving them credit for it. So without going into the nitty-gritty as to who misappropriated the other person's material, the premise is, if you're using someone's content, hit them a little message, ask them if it's okay, or at least, somewhere in your caption or something, give credit to where you get your pictures from, that type of thing. It could go a long way in avoiding a uncomfortable social media situation. And secondly, if you're a public figure and a brand ambassador, with no disrespect to our humanity, you're not allowed to respond emotionally to situations. You have to take your time and measure your response and how you're handling it. But yeah, Parata. #Rotigate. That's my 2 cents. No comments, Aaron?
No comment whatsoever, because I think to just put a really quick term to it, it's photographic plagiarism.
I guess that's what a good P is. There's 2 good P's.
Yeah.
Same pod.
Yeah, boy.
Get it? 2 P's in a pod?
I actually got it, and
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Cool. But really and truly, I saw that, and in my mind, it's like, why are we putting so much attention towards that when there are so much other national issues that continue to plague our nation?
P is for priority as well.
Yeah, boy, because we have a lot of misguided priorities here in Trinidad and Tobago. Our murder rate continues to rise, but yet still be focused on Parata. Sorry, on pictures of Parata.
Pictures of Parata.
Right? We have instances where guns and ammo are found by the police in getaway cars. Parents are being shot in schools.
Immigrants allegedly escaping secure facilities. And then the allegations of abuse by the people who were placed to protect them. Anyway.
Defense force arms being misplaced, for want of better words.
Yeah. Plenty misplaced in this last rounds.
Yeah, but we are so focused on, as we say, honestly, I love the fact that as a nation, sometimes we don't take things too seriously, but also I am perturbed by the fact that we don't take things too seriously as a nation. With that being said, remember, this is the Living Room on the True Nation station, WACK 90.1 FM, with yours truly, DJ Aaron 868. I remind you that culture is my code, alongside my bro with no fro.
Ricardo Mitchell, the social stage on the global stage.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I got there. I'll stop in there because the thing that I would describe myself as, you know what, it doesn't sound good on air sometimes. Yeah.
It's good that you are able to recognize that sometimes the analogies which we as Trinidadians tend to use can be often misconstrued or often misused and abused.
Well, let's put it this way. While I am a king of metaphors, that is the better way to put it. That I am the king of metaphors rather than the metaphor.
Okay, cool. Yeah, but we also have to remember that as persons who are in the media, as you said, sometimes we can't put emotional responses onto situations or subjects. So we also need to be very wary of the things that we say on air, because we always talk about that you never know who's listening.
Yes.
And as much as we want to impart our knowledge upon the younger listeners and give them the examples of good metaphors, we also need to be wary of the metaphors that we use among some of the younger generation, because they are sponges. They pick up a lot and they pick up very quickly.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is you can make them, but you can't make them mind. They also have a tendency to pick up what they want, as opposed to what you want them to pick up.
That too. That's a real big part of it.
Aaron, bear with me, but how are you?
Well, that was just something I was going to talk about later. But before we get into that kind of questions, there are some hats I want to hang.
Ooh!
And nice. these hats are from a sporting perspective, right? Our Olympic gold medalist, former Olympic gold medalist, Mr. Keyshawn Walcott, he would have produced a season's best throw of 83.56 meters in the men's javelin competition in Hen Jello. I hope I pronounced that correctly, right? And he won silver there, right? Our ace mystery spinner, that's Sunil Narayan, who will be featuring for the TKR Knight Riders in this year's edition of the CPL. He was among the wickets as Surrey picked up their fourth win in 6 matches in the English 4-day championship. Sorry, no, in the T20 Blast. My apologies.
All right.
Right. Alvin Jones continues to produce the goods for Club Sando in the Trinidad and Tobago Premier League as they defeated Terminix La Hocketa Rangers. Right, so again, if you have the time, you can head out and take in one of these games. They play at the Mahaika Oval. They play in Larry Gome sometimes, Manny Ramjohn, as well as... Go ahead.
I thought Manny Ramjohn wasn't available for use.
It is available for use, but you have to enter through the uncovered stands, and you can only sit in the uncovered stands. You can't sit in the covered stands because there's structural... the structure is compromised. Yeah.
All right. Nice.
And also West Indies would have played UAE on Sunday in our ODI. They won convincingly by 7 wickets.
I see the little bat and ball icon on my phone, and I just didn't have the time to check to see what was going on.
Right. So just quit. And also our national table tennis players are in tournament as well.
So we just have all the sports going on right now.
We have a lot going on. So if you are so inclined, you could always catch up on our national athletes who are representing the red, white, and the black to the best of their ability, and also the men in maroon as well.
Right. So P is also physical and psychological performance.
Yeah. Yeah. There's one thing I'm compelled to ask, and that is the fact that why can't we have a date yet for local government elections?
What's the point of local government elections now?
That's actually a good question, huh? But really and truly, we should have a date by now.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Well, asking you, what's the point?
Yeah, they're saying that it was supposed to be announced on the 29th of May, but today's the 6th of June.
Interesting. I'm not disagreeing with you when I ask you, what's the point, eh? I legitimately just curious as to... Anyway, sorry. I don't want to come across as disenchanted, but I'm also well aware of the fact that the machines for the larger elections starting to roll. So I guess it's just one of those constitutional things that has to be done.
No, but I will be the Debbie Downer here. And I asked the question, what is the role of the local government in Trinidad and Tobago? Because the central government isn't doing any work.
But sorry, you're breaking up for a second there. What you say?
That the central government is not fulfilling their roles and responsibilities.
Noted.
And honestly, it has me wondering what now is the role of local government. Now, I'm not negating that there are councillors that are doing their jobs, because I think last week we spoke highly of the councillor from Tunapuna, who's doing excellent work in his area, in his Burgess. But really and truly, as Brian London asked, I think in 2015, when last is your MP?
Yeah, well, you're right. There are some who are performing. I could testify to that. But leaves you to wonder if it's not a systemic overhaul that we need.
You just said a systemic overhaul?
Pardon? I'm not sure what you're hearing. I'm not sure. No? You have to remember with AI too, we have no idea whether or not I actually saying these things or if this episode get hacked. Because you know that's the go-to excuse anytime you say something contrary that my account was hacked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it weren't me.
You know, as you mentioned AI, there was an article in the Express on the 3rd of June titled "The Future for AI in TNT Has Started."
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind if you send that for me when you get a chance.
No problem, I will. But also, I continue to ask, the fact that AI is so advanced now, but yet still YouTube cannot play as a background app.
I hear you with that. I want to, I know you've been touching that one again. I want to hang my hat on Nicky Puran. You know, I believe he's having a batting, what does call it, one of those 3 or 4 days?
A batting clinic?
Yes, a batting clinic. Not sure the details, I just remember having seen the article.
He posted it on his Instagram page some time ago.
Yeah, well, if I find it in time, I'll load it somewhere here. Yeah, somewhere around, you know, it's somewhere up here. And what else I want to hang my hat on? I would like to hang my hat on a particular administrative service that I'm seeking, but I'm not going to hang my hat or wipe my feet yet until I see how it unfolds. I just think that it's very difficult to do things in Trinidad and Tobago.
Really?
It's very difficult to do things in this place.
Especially since the ease of doing business is so excellent.
Yeah. So I don't want to sour anybody, but I also don't want to give out kudos before I'm satisfied with the service. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. I want to wipe my feet. On fair leadership. And I'm not talking politically here, I'm just talking about the people who are in charge, who's supposed to be overseeing, and instead of addressing issues, they're quick to sweep things under the rug. We don't really address anything by pretending it don't exist. Alright, I don't want to start to point fingers and call topics, but the fact remains we cannot keep pretending that certain things just not happening. If there was an incident that has been alleged, it is not necessarily in your best interest to come out and say, well, we have no evidence of it. It might be better for you to come out and say that we are currently investigating based on the seriousness of the allegation. Because now what you're saying is, well, we have no evidence, so as far as we're concerned, it never happened, which is a dog whistle. You're pretty much telling people, well, until all you could prove it, it didn't exist. You're actually diminishing whistleblowing. You're actually undermining transparency. So just saying, as a leader, don't be so quick to ball, well, me know nothing about that. Say you're looking into it, right? I'm unaware of it. Come on. What we say, I get all of that. What I'm saying is, don't be so quick to dismiss when you very well know that there's a strong likelihood that something occurred, because it reflects very poorly on you if it is revealed and discovered. Right? I just say a word to the wise. As a leader in whatever capacity, don't be so quick to approach with caution, because we're definitely going into a season when people holding things up to scrutiny, and you don't want to be caught with your proverbial pants down. Yesterday was World Environment Day. I'm not so sure we acknowledge that in as great a capacity as we could have.
Don't use styrofoam. Ricardo, on Sunday, I ran into Dina at the event which JL and I attended, right?
So 3 members of the living room. All right, cool. I'm listening.
So yes, three members of the living room were present there, and additionally there was a 4th.
Mr. Witawai?
Mr. Williams was there, no relation, and we are gonna welcome him back with his weekly segment called Willy with a Y.
Good night, all you listeners to WAC Radio 90.1 FM. It's the living room, and this is Willy with a Y. Topic I wanted to talk about this week: social media responsibility, by what it is with the need to be first, and 90% of the time being first with the wrong information. Before, it used to be mostly on WhatsApp, Facebook, maybe even Twitter. But now I see it's infiltrated actual reputable media houses. Take for example, yesterday, there was this story that came out early in the morning about a Galil rifle that went missing from the barracks. By the afternoon, there was a story circulating. I heard this on radio, by the way. There was a story circulating that the rifle had been found. Only for less than 2 hours after that, for another story to break saying that that was wrong information. So in an instance with something as important as that, where a deadly weapon goes missing, we know the situation in Trinidad currently. Our weapon goes missing, and we have to face the fact that the information we are reading, seeing with respect to that instance, we can't trust it. We don't know. Now it is you have to wait until you get... Now it is, you can't even say waiting on the news to hear whether or not it's accurate, because, as I said before, it's infiltrated. The scourge of wrong information has infiltrated everything now. Papers, you're getting it, and now radio and television. So it's high time that I think we start charging people for peddling wrong information, for making up stories and pushing it out as factually accurate. We can't continue like this. This has to be stamped out. We need to stop the scourge of wrong information being pushed forward, and people sharing, and people liking and commenting, and that time the story in with a pint of you know what. But yeah, that's all for this week. Until next time, this was Willy with a Y.
Thank you very much, Willy, for your insightful, inquisitive, and bacchanalish contribution as per usual. Yeah, boy.
Wow.
But one point to note, honestly, guys, we also need to note that we have postal codes or geographic codes in Trinidad and Tobago.
You mean different regions, or the country has a code now?
No, different regions. Like Bacalet and Tobago, 9301. Bodnaf 9804.
All right. Where's Marbella's?
Oh, I know you was going to ask that, right?
Well, we'll ask her. What I will ask again.
Could ask for Sando.
You know what? Tell my Sando after.
2016.
2016?
Yeah.
That's Marbella?
Yeah, that's Marbella.
All right. Interesting.
I scrolled through the document. The document is actually like 6 pages long, something like that.
Right. So now, are we expected to apply these to existing documents?
That I don't know. I don't have all those details as yet, but as soon as we get them, we will share them with you here inside the living room.
Yeah, because
San Fernando proper is 2003.
All right. You have any 1982?
I don't close the document and like you.
All right,
and for me to do that, I need to go and search through every single number to find 1982.
All right, don't worry about that. But that is a nice piece of information because I know they were trying to implement a kind of area code thing a while back, and then there was so many issues getting the different organizations on board with the changes of billing address and that type of thing.
Yeah.
Well, Aaron, we talking the location business. There's a where are you question. I want to get back to the question that I asked you earlier, which is a how are you question. I know we'd kick it down the road until a little later in the episode, but this is later, which would be a when are you issue. But let me not digress. So, all talks that aside, for the millions of viewers across the world, well, I'm speaking it into being, and for the thousands of listeners that we have in Trinidad and Tobago and online, what's going on? How are you?
Well, we always ask the question, you don't say it's not, and the how are you we ask is not a pervasive question or a macro question. Mm-hmm. We don't ask you where's the scene jelly bean or where's the just physicist or what's the word hummingbird. Mm-hmm. We genuinely ask each other or our guests, how are you? All right. There have been good days, there have been bad days, there have been better days, to be very honest. For those of you that don't know, recently I would have lost my grandfather. So there has been the struggle with that. And as I posted to Facebook recently, I'm actually going to read the post to you all, right? Because I don't want to misquote myself. Wait, but Israel post things to Facebook, ship it like real random, ship it this way. I
don't know even why it is bother with Twitter and like Facebook is where the action is, bro.
No. Right? Since Carnival, I have been mentally and I have not been mentally or emotionally happy about playing music. Right? But still I soldiered through because it's one of my jobs. And then after my grandfather died, that was it. I just couldn't do it. I could have listened to music, and I'll still enjoy it because I love music. I came and I did the Clash with Kenny. It helped me take my mind off of things, but it still wasn't fulfilling because you play music as a DJ to make people happy, to make them party, to make them enjoy themselves, and that was something that I just couldn't do. 2 weeks ago, was 2 weeks? Wait. I mean, this week is the second Sunday. But a friend of mine asked me to DJ his wedding. And I pondered on it. I think that was the longest I ever took to produce a quote. Mm-hmm. Normally, I could produce a quote in 15 minutes. I think that quote took me 3 or 4 days.
Right.
And I said yes because my spirit told me to say yes. And Baron has a song called Love Conquers All. Mm-hmm. And it's really the truth because the energy and the love that was at that wedding was what I needed to be around. Seeing family come together, seeing family dance with each other, seeing family just be there and enjoying each other in a loving environment was, I think, what I needed to see or what I needed to be around. And the reason why I say that is because you all would have seen me since Carnival or heard me on air since Carnival and not knew anything that I was going through. Mm-hmm. You all would have thought that everything was hunky-dory. as they say, poke a poke, no beef.
Yeah.
Or chicken or whatever meat you want to put. But I was going through my own personal turmoil, my own personal battle. And love for music, the love of a couple that just recently got married, the love of a family that wasn't mine, the love of an extended family of people that just enjoyed what I was doing, was what made me start to feel better. Now, admittedly, you're asking the question, how am I? And I ain't give a direct answer to how am I. But I'm telling you the story of how I am, for it to reach out to somebody there who may be going through something similar to what I was going through. Because I openly admitted there are good days, there are bad days. There are days I would wake up in the morning and be like, I really want to go to work today. And you'll sold your shirt because you had to get the money at the end of the month. But admittedly, you have to take time to assess how you feel. And if I didn't know how I felt, I wouldn't know that I needed a loving environment around me to make me start to feel better. Now, usually we advocate for people to go for counseling or therapy. And for this instance, I chose not to because I wanted to see if I could have done it on my own. I'm so lucky and fortunate to have a community around me that brought me into an environment, into a place where I felt better. I felt good about myself again. I'm really fortunate for that. And I thank God every day for that community. I also have to say thank God for my family, because we have been sticking together through this tough time. I put on some weight because of it. Because every gathering is food.
Right.
Yeah. But it is something that's important. So the question of how am I don't even know how I am. But I could tell you how I feel. Because how you are and how you feel could sometimes be totally separate and independent things.
Correct is right, brother. Facts.
And I don't even think I should say this on air, boy, because then I had to say something else after and all kind of thing. But I also want to say thank you very much to a lot of my friends. You, Ricardo, you showed up. You wait, boy, I didn't want to say that.
Yeah,
because then I had to denounce my presidency now.
Yeah. They got a day for that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you very much to a special young lady in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much to other friends who reach out, who, when I call and say, hey fellas, I was sweat or whatever the case is. Men jumping out and sweating. It is a community. And not the community like they show on Netflix. But
yeah, that was wild. That was
just all over the place.
It wasn't for everybody.
Yeah, but the community of people that help keep you grounded, that help pull you back in when they realize that you are a bit far gone, that most importantly help you with healthy coping mechanisms. Not that we be saying don't go by the bar and drink a bit or take a drink. We're not saying don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But that cannot be your only coping mechanism, because substance usage then becomes an issue. Right? So how am I? I don't even know. But I know that I'm doing better than yesterday and better than the day before. It's a constant route to walk to be good. Did that answer your question?
I want to thank you for your transparency and your vulnerability. Right, take a lot for us, particularly as men, to just put it out there and let people know, well, this is how I'm feeling and this is what I'm going through. Right. Want to extend my condolences again. Want to pray for God's peace over you and your family at this time, and for all those who suffering and navigating loss, particularly when you consider that Father's Day coming up and that type of thing, and it's going to touch a button.
Yeah, right. And before I have a question to ask you, but before I ask you that question, I remember in one of the shows that I it finished now, but one of the shows I watched called All American. After the star characters that died, they told them that it's a year of first. They told the character that it's going to be a year of first. A year of your first football game without your dad being there. A year of your first Father's Day without him being there. A year of maybe it could be you get married and he's not going to be there for that occasion. It is going to be a tough road to recovery for somebody who recently lost a loved one or a friend. We always say that you don't know the battle that somebody is fighting, so be gentle with them. And if they say, hey, let me go and take a drink, or let me go and get something to eat, try to show up for your friends or for your family. Because that could be the cry for help that you don't know that the person is crying. Right? So Ricardo, I asked you to
supplement your point and cut you off from asking that. A lot of people are unable to say the words, I need help or I need to talk. It is very, very difficult for people to say those particular phrases. So we have to look for the cues that they might be more comfortable using and the opportunities to engage a conversation. So you're right, Ira. We have, even if they're asking you to do something that might not necessarily be up your alley, you don't have to outright say no. You could make a counter offer. Yeah, well, I ain't really looking to drink this weekend, but if you want coffee, swing and check me now. You could still engage in a manner that you still feel comfortable.
I ain't looking to go skydiving this weekend, but we could walk up San Fernando Hill.
Right? I ain't looking to go a boat ride with you. No disrespect to boat rides, but what I'm saying is if that's how you looking to blow off steam, but that's not how I'm comfortable, well then, I ain't looking for that, but if you take out 2 beers before you head up the road, check me now. Yeah, so it's not always about saying an outright no or acquiescing to a request that you're not comfortable with. But find a way to engage, because not everybody is as comfortable being direct as you might like, or some of us specialize in. And even me as a person, I honestly believe I'm an excellent communicator, not just because of how I listen, but because I do tend to untangle the things that you don't say so that you're more comfortable recognizing them for what they are. And it puts people in uncomfortable positions sometimes, because the truth is a hell of a mirror to stand in front of. And even I have trouble sometimes communicating directly, because it might come from a position of vulnerability, or it might come from a position of admitting, well, I can't do it on my own. And Aaron, I love the fact that you mentioned community earlier, because one of the trauma responses that we do as people is to withdraw. We believe because somebody hurt us, everybody will hurt us. Or because a lot of people hurt us, that there's nobody that we could trust. So we end up losing the exception, pursuing our rule. The fact remains is it's not everybody supposed to be in your space. So it's not everybody supposed to benefit from who you are and what you have. You're designed for a specific role, for specific people, for a specific community. And sometimes the pain of rejection and hurt, betrayal, disappointment, etc., from the people that you did extend yourself to, makes you recoil. And now you're unavailable to the community that you're supposed to be with. So it takes a lot sometimes to come out and say, well, this is the space that I'm in and I want to get out of it. And so, it's just about being mindful about the way that people would ask for help, And even though I interrupted you asking me the question, I will allow you to ask it so that I could communicate properly.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, Mr. Ricardo, let me do it properly. Not where's the scene, or where's the gist, or what's the word. How are you?
very uncomfortable with that question. Very, very uncomfortable with that question. I am better than I have been. I am not where I want to be mentally, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, financially. There's no space in my life right now where I feel content, which is a challenge for me because contentment is gratitude based. So not being where I want to be makes me feel as if I'm not being appreciative of where I am and what I have. So that's something that I am navigating. But I've always been able to confidently answer when someone asks me, how am I? And lately I've been in this place where I have to juxtapose wanting to give a positive spiritual response. God is good all the time, and all the time God is good, and to everything not good, but God good, so they will be, and by the grace of God I'll make it, etc. I want to be able to say those things because it's true. I believe that by the grace of God I'm still here and that things will get better, and I know the plans that He has for me, etc. But I know that intellectually, I know that spiritually, emotionally, I was starting to feel really overwhelmed. I was feeling as if treading water, and I ain't drowning, but I know how close that I am to it. And again, the self-awareness to recognize when you're getting that tired is a healthy thing. So being able to recognize that I was on the cusp of overwhelmed, I had to take an honest look as to why. And the thing is, I was being a poor steward of myself. I was trying to be as much as I could possibly be for as many people as I could be it. And I wasn't taking time to take care of myself. Somebody asked me a question, oh gosh, hey, big up Sarah, Purple Cow. She asked me a question a couple of days ago and it mashed me up because I still can't answer it. She said, Ricardo, when last you do anything for yourself? And she asked me that days now and I still cannot accurately remember when last I did something for myself. And I ain't talking about buy something for yourself and those types of things, I mean, like literally just do something for yourself. The closest thing I've come to doing something for myself is not doing something I didn't want to do. So it was like a double negative.
Or didn't have to do.
Right. That was the closest thing that I came. Not doing something was the closest I came to doing something for myself. But your brain don't really recognize negative in that sense, right? So I couldn't answer the question and I still can't answer it. And I think I'm going to stop trying to figure it out. But it showed me that I was so concerned about being self-centered that I'd completely abandoned self-interest. So I had to stop and reassess how I was taking care of myself. Because if I am in this role and this capacity to serve as many people as I can and as I want to, are you setting them up for failure if I am unsustainable? I had to take care of me, or I can't take care of you. That's the bottom line. At the end of the day, when a tree growing, you don't water the fruits, it does water the tree. You understand? You had to make sure you're grounded, you have your nutrients, that you could take a little drought or you could take a little hard breeze, but you had to, if you want to be able to provide for people, if you want to bear fruit, you had to grow first now. You had to stabilize. And I was so focused on bearing fruit and being productive that I'd started neglecting my grounding. So I love when you mentioned earlier about a community to keep you grounded. And I want to add to that by saying it's important to have a community that will lift you up as well. Because let me give you some bad news. There are people around you whose only interest is to keep you grounded because that is the level that they are on. And you're going to need people sometimes to convince you to, as the young people say, glow up now.
But they say glow up, they just say glow.
Nah, glow, the glow up is a real thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, do the guys here. Remember, I know a little thing or two about a thing or two, But how am I? Still uncomfortable with the fact that what I want to say is not how I legitimately feeling, even though intellectually and spiritually I know better. So now I'm working on doing the things to bring my emotional space in alignment with my intellectual and my spiritual space. All of that to say this, balance is not just left and right. If you really look at it too, a bicycle will balance, a tricycle will balance. A tripod have more balance than something with two legs. It's not just left and right. It's not just yin and yang. It's not just dark and light and right and wrong. Balance is a more composite thing than that. So if you feel like you're out of alignment, even though there are areas in your life that are on point, it might actually have a zone that you're completely neglecting. You understand? So for me, it was about recognizing the zone that I was neglecting. And one of the things that signaled to me how poorly I was managing was my irritability was spiking. And I had to ask myself why, if people doing the same things they were doing all the time, now they threaten me. It couldn't be them, it had to be me. So what I've discovered, believe it or not, is that I needed to grow my community. I had things that I needed to put in places, and I was getting upset when the people around me weren't enough to put the things that I had to put out. I started having unrealistic expectations from the people that were around me. We in media, Aaron, we in communications, we developing platforms, and even if we weren't on air, we are people in our communities' lives where we speak out, we stand up. We lean, we let you lean, we engage. The danger with not having a community that allows you to pour out and to distribute accordingly is sometimes you'll start to feel as if something inside you and you don't know where to go with it, you don't know what to do with it. But not everything you have is for everybody you know. Sometimes you have a contribution to make to the world and it's to somebody that don't know you. So we had to be willing to live in purpose and to step out of our comfort zones and acknowledge that maybe the reason I'm comfortable is because I'm smalling up myself. So you know what I do? Instead of trying to get the people I was talking to understand, I just start talking to more people. And I start a TikTok account. And here the catch, right? Social media is a funny thing. Instagram and Facebook, those are social spaces based on people that you have some existing connection with, or you would like to have a connection with. But TikTok different because TikTok is interest based. So I might say something and you don't have to know me for that to register on your algorithm. And brother man, by the dozens, I'm not even exaggerating, I ain't reached a point of hundreds and thousands yet, but the dozens I'm talking about is people actually reaching out to comment and say, hey, I needed to hear this today. Thank you for that. It lines up with what I'm struggling with. What I mean is just the sheer gratitude from these strangers who are saying, buy something you are catching your 36 with. Help me today. Just being able to know that even in this space that I'm in, it not being wasted, by Aaron, that kind of diffuse me because now I could pour out because it's not about who I know, it's about what I have to do. So with that now, being able to pour out and help people and get the feedback, or you know, to just have a solution and you don't know who problem it is, Aaron, that is a life that most of us are living because we are afraid to step out now. And it have listeners right now, this is specifically for you, it's not too late to start looking for yourself. I hate to hear people say, well, I don't know already, or look how long, or that's just how I is. No. It have something that the world demands of you, that you keeping back from the world. So that is where I am right now. I've found a way to ease up my community by expanding my community. And it has helped. Because now I know that all the everything that I'm going through, somebody could benefit from it.
You know, I'm real happy you said some of these things, Ricardo. Because let me be transparent again. Both you and I, we do have kids.
Correct.
But yet still we are active members of the San Fernando Boys RC School Past Students Association.
Mm-hmm.
I'll reiterate, we don't have children.
Yeah.
So why are we involved in a primary schools Past Students Association?
Mm-hmm.
Because we see the need for mentoring. We see the need for getting involved with the younger generation, to give positive male role models to young men. I ain't saying boys. to young men.
Mm-hmm.
We see the need that in expanding our community, we ourselves expand. Because knowledge hoarded is knowledge wasted. And if you don't share the knowledge you have with the next generation, they are going to begin at a deficit.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most humbling things for me last week, I always say I know maths. You know BOD is not the means of operation anymore. It's now order of operation.
Okay.
In my 36 years, I now learn that again.
Mm-hmm.
Every day, the world around us changes.
Yes.
You'd want to water the roots, but you also need to be able to pick the fruit or replace something on the tree very quickly. Because trust me, what you learned in 1996 when I was in primary school is not the same thing that applies today.
Mm-hmm.
I just call a random here. Come on.
Yeah. No worries.
Because 100% sure one of the children from the class listening and trying to figure out how old we are still.
True. I was real excited when one of them was like, wait, what station are you with? And we say WAC. And he was like, wait, that's right in Sando there on the coffee.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We always say that you never know who's listening.
Mm-hmm.
I used to post stories on statuses on Facebook talking about the random interactions I would have had with somebody listeners. And people used to doubt it. But I always say, one of the most random interactions I will always continue to talk about is the roadblock the night.
Mm-hmm.
When the policeman stopped me and said to me, thank you very much for the conversations that you and Marsha have. Mm-hmm. Inside, at that time, it was the ladies' room. I swear I was going to get a ticket. But you never know who's listening. So, for you, the listeners of WAC 90.1 FM, we continue to implore you. We ain't saying to be the best version of yourself and to glow up and all these different things. What we implore you to do is be better than you was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Constant improvement is the goal. Okay, if you continue to stay in the same place right through, you will end up like the old post office in Sando that just deteriorated.
Or like the statue down Ikakos.
I thought it was the one in Maruga that I was just leaning.
So is the lighthouse in Ikakos and the statue?
The statue in Maruga. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, guys. You always have to strive to do better than you did yesterday. Right? If you did 4 push-ups yesterday, try for 5 today.
But if you do 3, give yourself a little bit of grace, and when you get up tomorrow, please God, try for 4 again.
Exactly. And that's the next thing. I always say, I am my biggest fan, but I'm also my biggest critic.
Mm-hmm.
And I think me being my biggest critic is an inhabitant to growth.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
You also have to remember to be gentle with yourself. And before we close up, I'll give this story. I started my fitness journey in September last year.
Mm-hmm.
I could not do a push-up to save my life because I had shoulder damage.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
From dislocating my shoulder on numerous occasions while playing football. Mm-hmm. Don't ask me how. Last week Saturday, I had my 7th or 8th fitness test. I was able to push out 45 push-ups.
Boom.
One after the other. It took me 9 months to get there. If I was hard on myself every time I could have only do 5, I would have never reached the 45. Be gentle with yourself. Pat yourself on the back when you do better. Also, to take a page from what Ricardo said, do something for yourself. And not at the risk of canceling something else, but do something for yourself. If even it's as simple as walking down Coffee Street and going and buy yourself an ice cream cone.
Long time I do that.
Or going and get yourself a pedicure.
Tranquility beat it, big up yourself. Or my feet's looking 100.
Your feet see.
Don't go. Is about 2 years I ain't drop a feet. See, right. Up now.
Or even if it's as simple as going to a favorite restaurant and ordering something that you like and going home, sitting down in the comfort of a couch and listening to an episode of The Living Room that you missed. I just had to plug myself there.
Yeah. Check out DJ Aaron 868 YouTube page, The Living Room playlist.
Right? Or if even you want to watch a movie.
Or go for a walk.
You could go, exactly. But don't go for a walk that's too strenuous the first time you're going for a walk.
Yeah, ease up yourself too.
Exactly. Do something for yourself. I think let me end it off like this. Be gentle with yourself. Do something for yourself. And as always say, enjoy life. You have to enjoy life. Because it does not make sense that you work hard all the days of your life and you don't enjoy it. Even the gardener enjoys the fruits of his labor. Remember that.
Correct. Stop muzzling the ox.
What?
It's scripture.
Oh, I thought just going
to,
I was going to say stop muzzling the buffalo. So.
No. The muzzling the ox, you had to allow it to eat. If you're doing all that work, like, had a benefit from what it is doing now. Oh,
so like how I just tell my neighbor, let the dog.
Yeah, well, you know what? All right, we could definitely investigate that. We could definitely investigate.
No, because why buying a dog if you're telling the dog go back?
Right. Manage expectations. We could really delve into that a little bit deeper. But thanks to our segment contributors, Aaron. Thanks for your vulnerability, your transparency, and for listening.
And thank you for yours as well.
Yeah, man. What we could do again? Up next.
Yeah, up next is Mr. Desmond with the big band. And remember, this Sunday it's Pan Down Memory Lane, where we have 12 conventional and 12 single pan bands that will be performing for you at the Queen's Park Savannah from 6 p.m. And WAC will be there bringing coverage.
All right. And Saturday is Prayers Reunion, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I can't go because I'm working Saturday for David from 2 to 6.
All right, cool. So you could probably swing through afterwards, man. A good time.
I will try my best to. Yeah. Cool. I mean, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah. I putting it out there, but I ain't struggling myself either. Guys, this is Ricardo Mitchell, the social stage on the local global stage. Thanking you for joining us in the living room. Remember, guys, the hourglass is opaque. We don't know how much time remains, so whatever you're doing, be good and stay safe. And if you're TikTokly inclined, this is the Ricardo Mitchell. I just saying. Aaron is nearly every day I posting something now, you know. I gonna be one of them train influencers. You can see it. You heard it first. Wrap up. Let me come off to people here, please.
Yeah, this is your shitty DJ Aaron 868. I remind you that culture is my code. And I also tell you that love is the currency. So spend some today. Let somebody know that I love them, guys. Please, I beg and all that. If you're musically inclined, you could head across to my SoundCloud, DJ Aaron 868. As a matter of fact, you can follow me on all social media platforms except TikTok. Even though I have an account that I don't use. I don't even think I have the app on my phone. But DJ Aaron 868. And again, I want to say thank you very much to Soca for featuring my Calypso mixes. You know, I keep saying, those are the little things that make you want to continue doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Those little wins. Alright, so keep it locked to the True Nation stations of the ACK 90.1 FM. You can catch me again on Friday from 7 to 10 p.m., Saturday from 2 to 6, and then I'm going to be apparently in the Savannah on Sunday listening to Pan. You wanna come on?
We can see how that go.
I'm like, want to listen to some Pan now?
I'm in a supervisory capacity for a couple of days.
Oh, right, yes.
So.
Oh, right, the super.
Mr. Desmond up next to the big band.
Yeah, boy, keep it locked.
Keep it locked.
This is Caribbean Vibes.
So much trouble in the world today. Too much I say. Tell me, what is the world coming to? What can we say or do? What is going to happen to the human race? Can't we see what's taking place? Don't they know that love conquers all? Don't they know? Don't they know? Love conquers all. Don't they know? Don't they know? Hope it would be such a satisfaction to have peace among our nation, to see the entire human race finding an equal place. Life can be so beautiful if you and me live in peace and harmony. Don't they know that love conquers all? Don't they know? Don't they know? Love conquers all. Don't they know? Don't they know? Everywhere you turn, they're fighting war. What is all this fighting for? Tell me, what is their consideration for the little children? What will be the end of all of this, my friend? Or will there ever be an end? Don't they know that love conquers all? Don't they know? Don't they know? Love conquers all. Don't they know? Don't they know? Hey.
This is Caribbean Vibes.
There must be a stop to all this madness, 'cause it only turns to sadness. There is one and only one solution when this situation. There is only one way for both me and